If you total up his courtroom victories for Missouri, the dollar amounts that he has won on behalf of the state of Missouri, you won't believe the total. It's $725 billion. He was catastrophically injured in a skiing accident that left him unable to walk. In fact, for a number of days, doctors feared for his life. I remember getting the call, people saying that, Josh Devine has been seriously injured. We don't know if he's going to live.
Today marks a major moment for the federal judiciary in Missouri. 4 new judges are being confirmed to the bench after years of waiting. Senator Josh Hawley led the charge on the Senate floor, expressing strong support for all 4 picks and giving personal insight into one nominee in particular, Josh Devine. Don't forget to subscribe for more hard-hitting political updates.
Mr. President, in a moment, we will begin the process of confirming 4 outstanding new judges to the bench in the state of Missouri. This has been a long road for my state. We've waited a long time to have these 4 vacancies filled, and I'm absolutely delighted that in just a few moments, we will begin to fill them. And I want to thank President Trump for nominating 4 truly outstanding individuals to these roles. Josh Devine, who is the current Solicitor General of the state of Missouri, and who I had the privilege of having served on my staff as my chief counsel, among other roles, for a number of years. Judge Chris Stevens, who is currently serving the Missouri State Courts with distinction. Maria Lanahan, who is serving the Missouri Attorney General's office even now, and Zachary Bluestone, who is a federal prosecutor in the state of Missouri. Each of these 4 individuals will soon take his or her place on the federal bench, and I am confident will be a great credit not just to my state, but to the United States, where I hope they will serve as federal judges for a very long time to come. I want to say just a brief word about each of them. I want to start with Josh Devine, who we'll be voting on here just shortly. Josh currently serves as Missouri Solicitor General, and before that, as I said, he served here in the Senate as my chief counsel. In fact, I've had the opportunity to work with Josh on a number of occasions. I first hired him to the Missouri Attorney General's office when I was Attorney General, and he was just a young deputy. He served there, then came to the Senate and served on my staff, then clerked at the United States Supreme Court, then went back here to the Senate as my chief counsel, and then back to the state of Missouri. Josh's record as Solicitor General in Missouri is truly exceptional. He has argued, litigated numerous cases in our state courts and federal courts, from the trial court level all the United States Supreme Court. And here's the thing that really strikes me about Josh's record. If you total up his courtroom victories for Missouri, the dollar amounts that he has won on behalf of the state of Missouri, you won't believe the total. It's $725 billion in successful judgments on behalf of the people of Missouri. That includes a successful lawsuit against the Chinese Communist Party for their role in the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent cover-up and the many harms that it caused to the people of Missouri. This is a very successful litigator. This is a very successful trial lawyer, a very successful appellate lawyer, and he is going to make an absolutely outstanding judge on the federal bench for the state of Missouri. I want to share just one personal story about Josh that I think illustrates his character more even than his win record does. Just a few years ago, in the midst of an intense period of work for the state of Missouri, Josh and his family were taking a brief vacation, and he was catastrophically injured in a skiing accident that left him unable to walk. In fact, for a number of days, doctors feared for his life.
If you want more breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button now.
I remember getting the call, people saying that, Josh Devine has been seriously injured. We don't know if he's going to live. He lived, thank God, and then they told him, you may or may not walk again. Do you know, over a period of months that followed, Josh set himself to regaining with 100% confidence his ability to walk. And I remember talking to him while he was yet in intensive care and then in the hospital for a long period of time, and seeing the pictures of him propped up there in his bed, already back to work for the state of Missouri. I mean, his briefs around him, his laptop in front of him, writing briefs, on calls, trying to direct motions, argue them if possible over the phone. It was incredible. And what he did then for a period of months after that was he taught himself to walk again. You'll see him, I'm sure, walking in and out of the courthouse soon in his new role on the bench. He has regained with 100% capacity his ability to walk, and it really is a testament to his determination, to his grit, to his faith, and also to his family. Who really deserves the praise here is his exceptional wife, Elizabeth, mother of 6 children with Josh. I think a 7th is on the way. They are an incredible family. They are an incredible couple. They have already served the state of Missouri with distinction, and I know Josh is going to continue to serve the state with distinction for years to come. Judge Chris Stevens is such an exceptional jurist, and I know that my good friend and colleague, Senator Schmidt, will have more to say about him in just a moment. They work very closely together, and Judge Stevens, as I said, is already serving the state with distinction on the state bench. We look forward to having him on the federal bench for many years to come. And Maria Lanahan and Zach Bluestone both have rendered distinguished service to the state of Missouri. In Maria's case, in the Missouri Attorney General's offices, arguing cases for the state, winning judgments for the state, and Zach Bluestone, a federal prosecutor who has been prosecuting violent crimes, going after child sex abusers, and taking the worst of the worst off of our streets in the state of Missouri. He's an exceptional federal prosecutor. He's going to be an exceptional federal judge. As we come to the end of what's been a long road, to be honest, for these judicial nominations in the state of Missouri, I just couldn't be more grateful. And I want to end how I began by thanking President Trump for his exceptional leadership, thanking him for choosing these 4 outstanding individuals who I know are going to make the state of Missouri proud. They're going to make the United States proud. And in just a few minutes here, I look forward to casting the first vote to begin this process to seeing them on the federal bench. I yield the floor.
Let's talk about the 4 Trump nominees. Josh Devine, Missouri's Solicitor General, a close Hawley ally and former Supreme Court clerk. Judge Chris Stevens, a respected Missouri state judge with a solid record on the bench. Maria Lanahan, an experienced litigator from the Missouri Attorney General's office. Zachary Bluestone, a federal prosecutor who's taken on child predators and violent criminals. These aren't political pawns. They're career legal professionals. Still, their conservative leanings align with Trump's judicial legacy. Originalist, strict interpretation judges who often side with state power and limited federal intervention. And hey, if you're following the federal courts or state politics, go ahead and subscribe. I break these stories down every week. Now let's zoom in on Josh Devine. His story is more than legal credentials. It's about resilience. After a devastating skiing accident left him unable to walk, doctors weren't sure he'd survive. But Devine not only recovered, he was back working from his hospital bed, writing briefs for Missouri. Months later, he relearned how to walk. He now has full mobility again. As Hawley put it, this isn't just about law. It's about grit, faith, and family. Devine is also the father of 6 kids, with a 7th on the way. That's the kind of personal backstory you rarely hear. If you appreciate this kind of reporting, subscribe and support the channel. Let's be real. These confirmations wouldn't be happening without former President Trump. Every single nominee was handpicked during his administration. This is part of Trump's long-game strategy: reshape the judiciary from the ground up. Even after leaving office, his influence remains strong in red states like Missouri. Judicial confirmations are one of his most lasting legacies, and his supporters know it. Hawley gave direct credit to Trump for nominating what he called outstanding individuals. Think about that. Long after the elections, judges serve for life. If you want more breakdowns on how political power works behind the scenes, hit subscribe now. So what's the impact of all this? These judges will hear federal cases involving constitutional rights, criminal justice, and major civil lawsuits. From gun rights to abortion, from federal enforcement to civil liberties, these judges will play a massive role. Missouri has waited years to fill these vacancies. Now, with a fresh conservative bench, the legal tide may shift in significant ways. Subscribe now so you can stay informed as these new judges begin ruling on key issues. To wrap up, 4 judges, 1 state, and a major win for Trump-era conservatives. Josh Devine's comeback story, the legal muscle of Bluestone and Lanahan, and the experience of Stevens, all of it point to a new chapter for Missouri's federal courts. I'll be tracking their first major rulings and what it all means for the rest of the country. Thanks for watching. Don't just scroll away. Subscribe so you don't miss the next update.